All right, bro, what's good?
What's going on?
Man, for the people who don't know you, introduce yourself and what you do.
I'm Rebel Minority. I'm a hip hop artist, also actor, but my regular government name, Isaiah Kelly. And that's why I'm an artist, rapper, MC, artist, all around. Rebel Minority.
Shit, where are you from?
Park Hill. Grew up in Park Hill from Denver, Colorado. Park Hill, for those who don't know, yeah, that's the stomping grounds. That's where I was not born, but that's where I was raised.
What block? What block, blood?
29th and Claremont.
Oh, yeah.
29th and Claremont.
I'm from the east side, shit. So, what schools did you end up going to in Park Hill?
I went to a lot of schools growing up. I was homeschooled. I went to Stedman for a little bit. Definitely went to Smiley Middle School. I also went to Place Middle School. Went to some Calvary Temple, some Knight Academy, some...
Oh, you bouncing around.
Yeah, I went to a lot of fucking schools.
Shit, so how'd that impact your childhood, like, moving around like that with all them schools?
Well, I think it made it easier to adapt. Like, I feel like I can go in any situation, any type of environment and figure out a way to cope or deal with it, even if it's super hood or I got to go to and be corporate or I got to switch it up, code switching. So I'm not going to show up and be something I'm not, but I know how to be comfortable around anybody. I don't have to go out and be, oh, we out here blowing up. I never had to do all that, but I was around it and I could just be me. So it was
you like a chameleon.
Yeah, I can blend wherever I'm at.
You got any siblings out here?
Got an older brother and a little sister. My brother D. Kelly, comedian out here killing shit in the game. Man. My little sister still playing pros overseas. She's in Egypt right now in Cairo.
That's big.
Excuse me. Started the 303 league this summer. Was the first league bringing the pro-am back to Colorado. So she ran that all summer. The championship had, Jimmy Fredette showed up. Aaron Gordon, what's his name? They traded him.
I think I saw Monte Morris too.
Morris, that's his name. I was like, he got traded, but
that's big though. I know you're proud of her. That's
definitely.
That's huge. So talk about y'all's parents.
The parents, my mom was a teacher, dad was a firefighter growing up, and he did that till he retired. So 20-something years firefighting,
saving lives.
Yeah, out there doing that, but putting in that work and saving people and taking that risk. But yeah, with the three of us, they provided. We didn't have everything, of course, but in the beginning, early years, you have more memories of what it was like before he got that job and life after. So, as a parent now, put it that way, it was a career that helped raise all us. So, yeah,
provided stability and
absolutely.
Shit, sound like I never really went without.
Oh no.
Y'all all turned out good.
There was shit that happened, of course, but
it's life.
Oh yeah.
So, do you got any kids?
I had 3 kids.
Man.
I got 3 kids. I'm not having any more kids. I have 2 little girls and a baby boy. So
all right. They drive me crazy and shit.
Oh, they're wild, but you love them. You take care of them. That's what parents about.
Bad. All right, so we're gonna transition to music, man. We're gonna get in that real quick. So, what really made you fall in love with just music? Who actually, too?
I mean, I was writing raps 6th grade. It's like writing raps, not writing bars, not writing full songs, just writing raps. And in my own way, didn't know structure. I didn't learn structure actually till I want to say maybe junior, senior year of high school. Didn't know how to write bars, just would write fucking raps all day. So I used to bump E40, Tough, Tupac in a Walkman on the disc that you had to hold upright because it would skip. All you youngins, y'all know shit about that.
Man.
The MP3, had the MP3 player, the original one that you had to, upload. You could get maybe 12 tracks. But it was E40 Pac. Then got into Tech 9, and then maybe freshman year of high school got into more East Coast. So Most Def by my Spanish teacher at that. Her name was Miss Classen. Brought me Most Def lyrics, Talib, Black Star. Started bumping the Mortal Technique. Used to love Mac Dre. So a wide variety of music.
So what would you say is your biggest influence on your sound? Is it all of them, or is it like a certain pocket of sound? You know what I mean?
I say tech influenced a lot of my writing process in terms of wanting to be precise, wanting to be on point with my lyricism, my delivery.
Yeah.
From like a professional standpoint, like I strive for that type of perfection.
Yeah.
I can't get it. That motherfucker's something different, but
he's seamless. Like,
yeah,
crazy.
But trying to hit that pocket, like approach it with that level of passion and technique. So a lot of tech, E40 in terms of, I think, a lot of the game that comes in my music in terms of wanting to say something,
right,
or maybe take something from it. That probably came from there. The game spitting portion, as I call it anyway.
Man, I would say E40 is my favorite artist of all time.
Yeah, before it goes.
I don't think there's nobody better than E40.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah. I mean, his longevity, talking about originality, the ability to go from era to era,
and still stay the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think E40 is the greatest. Like, there's Jay-Z's and there's, but I think E40 is better.
Yeah. And growing up, I think part of it was just the West Coast, East Coast. I didn't like Jay-Z that much when I was younger. I just didn't. I don't know if I like high school.
I'm entertained by this shit.
Like I fuck with Jay-Z now. Of course, his career has grown and he's grown, and just as you get older, you listen to things a different way. But high school and shit, I was like, oh no, it's Pac all day. It wasn't like he was trash. It's just if you were gonna have me pick, it was always Pac. Yeah.
Hell yeah. But the West Coast sound influenced Colorado crazy, man. It still do.
Yeah.
That can't shake from that shit.
No. No, that's
Artists.
They like that. They like that gangbanging shit out here. I don't know. They do.
Wow. All right. So, how many projects you got out?
So, full complete albums. I have four in the EP. I had to take a break from putting out albums for a minute, just kids and life. I was putting out singles, but I haven't been back as active as I have. It's been the past 2.5, 3 years since I've been back, consistently
in the lab cooking.
Yeah, where I'm either got shit out, not literally monthly, but like the next EP is pretty much already done, and that'll be coming out in the new year. So I got like 2 songs to finish, even though I just dropped a new project, and keeping it coming.
That work ethic is back, definitely. That shit has returned. What do you feel like is the biggest song you ever made?
In terms of listener?
Yeah, like the most popular, like everybody, like they heard that and like, hey, that's that one, bro.
I mean, it could have been the video that we did, the FMS Futuristic Mindsex.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
Hold on, cue the video. Bam. That shit was crazy.
Because that one is like a more universal. Like, even if you're not a true hip hop fan, you can hear me like, okay, what the fuck is that? What's that going? That melody, that smoothness, the vibe. So in terms of overall audience experience, that might be the one. Killer Instinct off the new project for me is one of my favorites. Yeah. Just in terms of where I went lyrically and just how it came together. But
Perfect Storm type shit.
And then back in the day, the EP I did with Jay Carey, that was well received. That's old now, but it's 2012.
I think I still have that laying around here. I got it from Jones's house.
Yeah.
From Infamous Jones' house, yep.
That was a good project. That's the one of my favorites just because it was something especially like in the early days of developing your sound and your style. It's something that you did with somebody that that you had that relationship with. So that was always going to be a special project. But
hell yeah. All right, what do you feel like is your most slept on song or even album?
Well, I mean, it ain't been out long enough, but this is by far my best work in terms of overall project. The Legend of My Lifetime. Yeah, I can listen to, I still have songs that I like, but I listen to all my music in terms of growth. I can see how I've grown in terms of cadence, delivery, writing from project to project, even from song to song. And I always want to improve regardless. So I can look back and be like, yeah, I like that, but I can do better.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so that kind of segues to what you think is the most important song you ever made.
Most important?
Like, just to you, really. Like when you play that motherfucker, you might tear up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You start reminiscing on what you was doing at that point in time. You wrote it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that important one.
The one out of the group? I mean, Forever King is a pretty emotional song. The last song on my album.
Yeah.
It covers a lot of eras in terms of time span, because I'm talking about stuff when I was younger to experiences. I mean, the whole project is, well, because it is a concept album, so it incorporates a transition in terms of where I was and where I'm going entirely, because that's just how I write. Like each album, there's a different era in my life. The last album I did was Colorful Abyss with 4 kids. There was no children, wasn't married, hadn't any of those real hard experiences just yet. So
that's good. Like when an artist kind of they rap about what they currently going through. They like, if you ain't a trapper no more, you ain't rapping about trapping.
You know,
not to make shit about me, but I kind of feel that way when I make music. It's like I've said like enough. I said everything I needed to say. So I need to go gather some more life experiences before I drop another album type shit, because I want to talk about what's currently going on. Yeah. I want to come back on some boss talk type shit versus I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that. I want to come back like I did this, that.
Right.
So I want some substance. So it's dope that you do that like automatically.
Yeah. I've been writing so long, and it used to be heavy in the poetry scene. Like used to do, I want to say I don't know, because I'm from here, Colorado. So pre-legalization, Denver was a different place.
Yes.
So pre-legalization was
two different eras.
Yeah, it is a different era. And, was moving around the original Gypsy House, off 13th and Marion, hitting the Poetry Circuit top, the Mercury Cafe, and then transition more heavily into music. But used to be spoken word, not the whole, I don't
hitting
know.
The drums.
Yeah, not the
brothers and sisters.
You know that the delivery that's kind of common in spoken word. Fire in your mouth, eyes. Not all that shit, but that wasn't my style. To each their own, but that shit is funny because everybody knows. You'd be like, okay, I got it.
All right, shit. Talk about the importance of storytelling in hip hop, because you pretty much talked about the album already.
I think it's storytelling. I think is something that could never go away in terms of its importance in hip hop. Yeah. Regardless of what you're talking about, even if you're talking about some bullshit, some real shit, something real emotional, or just a party song.
Right.
The more vivid you can paint that picture, the more people are going to get in there and be like, okay, well, I guess we partying, we turn it up. So the ability to take words and transport people elsewhere, if you can hit that music right, and then, because what do they say, that music can be in different vibrations, or however you want to look at it, can be healing. It can be the soundtrack to people's lives. I remember 99 to 2005, or I remember 2011, whatever, and that memory from that music can put them there. So that's how I try to look at writing some of my music. Like, how is this going to affect when they hear it and they really feel it? And they might like the song, but when they feel it, does that shit stick with them? That's what I'm aiming for anyway. Of course, the listener determines that, but yeah.
Tap into their emotions and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think nowadays in music, it's hard. It's like you gotta find motherfuckers like where they at home by themselves, then lit a candle and smoke the blunt. Then they're really listening to music that means something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If they out in the club or around their people, they ain't trying to sit down like, you hear what J. Cole just said? You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So is there anything else you want to say about the album? Like,
well, so there's several themes in the album in terms of falling to the bottom, hitting that rock bottom, and then what do you do after that? How do you respond? That you have to keep pushing. You have to pick yourself up, rise. That's why I liked the title, Legend of My Lifetime, because I don't know when it's gonna happen. It might take a lifetime, but you have to keep. You have to keep at it. You gotta stay committed, because if not, then you be like, oh well, maybe I was on the verge and then I quit, and then it gets taken away. Yeah, because even when I had to stop putting out albums at that peak, I was still writing. So even if I wasn't recording and putting a song out, I stayed writing. So I got notebooks, stacks of notebooks that are never seeing the light of day, but that I just put in the time to make sure I was sharp with my pen, that I stayed potent. And then when I came back out for this time, if you look at the last album to this one, the growth there's no comparison in terms of how it sounds, how it was delivered, in my opinion. But that was because I stayed at the craft. Even though something was taken away, I still filled it with the work. Excuse me, with the work ethic, with the grind of perfecting my craft. So
artists can't stop creating, man, no matter what circumstance.
Yeah.
Like, so even if you got like books of gold that you made at a certain time period that you'll probably never show to the world, it's just, it means a lot to you. So I definitely understand. Yeah. I got my books of gold too. That I'm like, I'll never show nobody this, but I know it's fire.
Yeah.
And I know my mind was sharp, and I know I can still do this shit.
Yeah. It's like, who was talking about? I think it was Royce, and or no, maybe it was Joe Budden saying that Royce is like a rapper camp, when he brings them into the studio, and like for 2 weeks they record a bunch of shit, and all that first 2 weeks of material is off limits, no matter how good it was, because that's just getting you back in good form and good shape. And I was like, that's a pretty fucking good idea. Apply it to yourself how you can. Not all of us got that situation, but in terms of, like, I started a TikTok series where I was hitting all the open verse challenges I could for a period of time.
Yeah.
Purposely picking beats that I wouldn't pick for myself with artists that I necessarily wouldn't write, just to make sure that my pen was sharp and that I could do, okay, I don't usually do this, but I'm going to do it now just to test myself, to stay on point. For no reason, but
just cause.
Yeah, but I could do that.
That's just pure love.
So,
all right, what are some of your favorite songs on the album?
So definitely Rise and Fall, because it opens everything up, sets the scene it sets the stage for what's to come.
Yeah.
Killer Instinct, I just think it's a hard track, the way the lyrics, the delivering on it for me, and just the content wise. It gives me, especially when I perform it, I guess that some songs you get more feeling when you perform them, and you just, it like takes you to a place almost spiritually, where you're not even realizing you're saying some of the lyrics. You're just in the zone and kind of, what do they call it? Like in the blue. They call that shit for jazz musicians, where they're so deep into the music, it's almost like otherworldly, out of body. And sometimes
it's like you go on autopilot.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And you're just feeling the flow of it all, and the energy of the crowd. And that's definitely one of those songs for me.
Hell yeah.
Where it takes over. Legend of My Lifetime, the title track.
Fire.
Sundown was a lot emotionally, because of what I was talking about, some of the situations personally I was referencing that I didn't say by name but put in there.
Yeah.
It's shit artists do all the time.
all the time. Throw them subs in there. Like,
yeah, but
all the time.
Just some of those life lessons and things, that you go through, having kids and co-parenting and real life shit. It all makes its way in there to a certain degree. I don't believe in throwing people by name. Regardless of the situation, I've never thrown nobody like, you motherfucker, and said their name on the track and then did any of that.
They know though.
But
like, if they listening, they know if they fucked up.
They might. I don't know if they listening.
Ain't nobody ever hit you up like, hey, you said that shit about me in that song.
Have they? I've had some questions about some shit in the past. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Be like, what was you talking about? I'm like, what do you mean? You didn't pick up on that?
I got some directs before.
My God.
I'm saying shit that only me and her know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it is what it is. It happened. It's going into art. This is what we do.
Yeah. It's a risk, but So the Morning Glory with HJ. I like that one.
Yeah.
I like my second verse on that. I mean, I like the first verse, but the second verse on Morning Glory, I think is one of the best verses on the album. To me.
Shit. That's what all that matters. That's all that matters, really. Shit.
Yeah, but I like the whole. It was important to me to make sure that it flowed like an old school album in terms of the whole project. Like, yeah, okay, everybody skips songs here and there, but the goal was to make it so it could play all the way through.
Right.
So, but that, you know, how people listen to it is on them, but that was the goal. So,
yeah, I tend to bounce around, then play my favorites 2 or 3 times, and I come back to the one I might have skipped like 30 seconds in. Ride it out like, okay, that wasn't bad. I'm gonna go back to my favorite again. So I'm like all over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, so you got this box by your feet, bro. What the hell what's in the box?
Okay, so I work for a company called Z2 Comics. They pair graphic novels with the music industry. So I have a box full of goodies. This is the new RZA book, Bobby Digital and the Pit of Snakes. Also, these are gifts for you when we're all wrapped up here. So I'll just open one and show some of the visuals just for, you know, presentation purposes. They hire independent graphic artists. They illustrate everything. Each story is unique, so each book has its own story. It'll be unique to the artist, whether it's an origin story, whether it's just a story they had in their head that they wanted to run with.
This is hard.
And they come in different tiers. This is a deluxe book. This is signed, RZA signature here. Again, this is a gift for you as well. So
for me,
Vince Staples, deluxe book we have here. We also have the Public Enemy vinyl and deluxe book as well.
Never opening that.
And the standard books are smaller like this. So we got Flatbush Zombies. They have an MGK book. Hotel Diablo, his last, I don't want to say pure hip hop album, but before he went to the pop rock,
he did go like,
you know, he took a pivot.
Yeah,
but it's working for him. So
hell yeah, it looked like he had more success than he ever had with rap.
I think so.
Yeah, like
his numbers are stupid.
He's a whole rock star now. Shit.
Yeah. So this Chuck D, Public Enemy. You know, you got the signature in the front as well. And this one in the tube, we won't open it because it's going to be difficult to put it back in there. Signed Chuck D Anthrax poster. So when I forget the name of the song they did. They're legendary songs.
Yeah. I don't remember either.
I don't remember the name at the moment right now. But that's signed by all members of Anthrax and Chuck D. It's in the tube. You can check it out later, or you know, if you want to show the people later. Yeah. But it's in here.
Yeah. I'm gonna pull it up on the screen for them later. So, hell yeah.
But my official title is the Vice President of Fulfillment. So I handle distribution internationally, some international distribution as well as domestic. I work with some of the artists and their management directly, working on getting them to sign things, getting things back from them that they signed or shipping to them. Sometimes
I know that's the hard part, getting it back.
Getting it back, it can be difficult. It's, you know, you're dealing with artists. So as an artist, like, I get that. I don't have to pressure them. I just have to deal with making sure that it's sent and getting it back. Sometimes I work directly with the artist, and they hit me directly and ask for, they want to buy certain books for their tour, and then we'll get their shipment together, get it out, or certain, which is the crazy part sometimes CEOs of record labels call me like, all right, this is what's going on, we're sending you this product or vinyl. So the experience working with people in this industry on, you know, high level deals that I definitely could not do on my own has been vital. My boss has taken an interest in my music on a personal level, and with each book we've been sending out for the past about a month or two since I dropped the album, they gave me an artist spotlight and gave me a QR code flyer, and we send it out with every book that is being shipped out. So
somebody gonna scan that motherfucker and be like,
definitely.
Hey, I fuck with that.
So it's been getting sent out. It's the I'll call it what it is. I like to take a humble approach to things, just in general. But it's an international distribution. Well, more. It's domestic more than anything because we don't do all the international, but it is getting sent. I can say worldwide, which is a cool thing just to say.
Yeah.
More than because the results are still coming in. We're seeing how many people are scanning it, tracking all the data.
Right.
How many people are actually scanning and listening, and are they skipping or whatever they're doing. But it still is something I'm very grateful for. It's an accomplishment because
that's big, bro. Like just to have that connect like that.
Yeah,
that's huge.
So people are starting to respond. A producer named Mr. Green. I had to look him up actually. I was like, he sounds very familiar, but he tagged me in a post today. Opened his RZA book and saw my artist spotlight, and hit me on Instagram. I was like, I'm listening to the album, and I looked him up. He's produced. We're talking Westside Gun, Jada Kiss, big people. Yeah. And I was like, well, shit. Even that he's listening,
it's big.
It's still cool.
Oh yeah, you got the plug still. Shit.
Count the small victories, even if you don't know what the results are going to be, because maybe you never know what's going to happen. But
you never know. But I think you're playing a crucial part of hip hop right now. Just even doing that, you know what I mean?
No, absolutely. Even if nothing happens from that, being able to, because sometimes I have conversations with the owner of the company, my boss, who's telling me about because they have a deal with Universal. So they're pitching different artists or that Universal wants them to work with or vice versa. So being able to have an inside seat and hear about how these negotiations go is experience that I can, as long as I've been doing music, I can't duplicate that. Right. That's something that you can't just learn by reading in the books. As much as you study, there's some shit you can't learn until you experience.
You gotta be there.
Yeah, and being able to have a seat at that table, in a sense, I'm still in building and trying to do more in all aspects of my career. But again, you gotta look at things sometimes like, hey.
That right there is a blessing, man.
Yeah. But they have tons of books coming out. They got the Ice-T book they just dropped. They have Alice in Wonderland. They go from metal to hip hop to jazz, Charlie Parker.
Music in general.
They got Elvis book.
Oh, shit.
It's a very interesting niche. They're combining music, original stories. They have a high fashion book called Balmain. Yeah. I'm not a high fashion dude, but
I know who that is. But I can't afford that shit, but I know who it is.
Hell no. But the book is beautiful, so it's an invaluable experience, and I don't take it for granted. And I just wanted to segue into that relationships cannot be understated. Relationships, and not necessarily. I think a lot of times when people are, you gotta go networking without intention or purpose can be a waste of your damn time. If you don't know what you're going to network for, you can waste your time. But sometimes just showing up and just generally having a good time is the best form of networking. Networking without purpose, because then you
fall into something.
Yeah, just be genuine. Like, oh shit, I fucked with that. That was cool. I like that. I think we don't say that we like shit enough.
Yeah. We don't give each other their props enough.
Yeah, like, hey, I liked that.
You might never know where that shit take you.
Exactly. And you just spread some love. It don't have to be on, oh, it was me, it was me, only. We out here. Like, okay. Like, all right. But
real shit. So you an actor too?
Yes, sir.
How long you been doing that?
Ooh, Professionally, at least since 2011. College, I don't know. It's been, I don't want to say, well, how am I? Yeah, it might be 15 years.
Damn.
15 years at least. Because, I got back in. So, as a kid, did some acting. Like plays in the rec center, did school plays, all that. High school was on a whole different tip, playing sports. Still wrote poetry, was doing art, but not in the theater whatsoever. Right. Freshman year, took a intro to theater class, fell back in love with it, declared it as my major, and been running with it ever since. Was up at CSU, in their theater program with the Metro, and that's where shit changed for me. Because I started getting different roles that I did, just more experience. Yeah. And then I was like, okay, I got to a point where I wanted to take my experience and apply it. And went and auditioned. Excuse me. And what really broke me in was the Denver Museum of Nature and Science. Okay. That's where I got my first real paying long-term gig, doing historical enactment. Okay. I don't know if people know what the fuck that is, but
historical enactment?
Historical enactment. That's where you...
Was you like playing a slave or something?
No. Well, one of my... So the Real Pirates of the Whydah was an exhibit they brought in to the museum. It had to be 2011. Okay. So what you do, they bring in real historical artifacts. So they brought in real pirate treasure, real cannons, real artifacts from the actual... It was a slave ship, actually, turned pirate ship. And it sunk. And then it was, at the time, I don't know if it still is, it was the only authenticated pirate treasure at the time. Now that might be different now. Right. They might have found some more. But at the time, it was the only one that was 100% authenticated. And we studied the time period, around that, the history, my character, and then you develop a character from scratch based on historical detail. So my character's name was Jafael. I was an escaped slave who left slavery. And this is all a story I made up. So I invented this character, his backstory, his history, mannerisms, and then I had to study the time period and make sure that everything about him and what he knew, his knowledge, was accurate. Yeah. But the fictional person was a person I created. And I would be this person for 6 to 8 hours a day in the exhibit. So you're the guest, you come in, they got all the, like a regular museum exhibit. And I'm walking around full costume. I got a saber, I got artifacts, shells, I got the full dress, I had an island accent, and I was Jafael. I think I was from no, I don't think I was from Kingston, but I was from the islands. So I had the Caribbean accent and my whole backstory, and that was just the first one. So I did a Silk Road. I was a governor of Turfan named, what was my governor name?
Governor
Ma Henri. I was the only, not the only, and this is where it gets deep. You got to learn the time period. So it was Turfan in, what was it, 89 AD? That one I haven't thought about in a minute. But all these different characters. Did a Sherlock Holmes, and that was just at the museum. So
how long was you there in total at the museum?
At the museum, like 5 years. So I did tons of shows there. And these were, the touring exhibits lasted 4 to 6, some of them 8 months. So you're this person on a daily basis. It becomes, in terms of acting speech, it becomes another entity that kind of lives inside of you. It's weird actor shit, but if you ever get actors amongst the shit that talk about it, I did, because you had to. Because I learned early in that first exhibit that if you don't, the characters start to blend. Real shit. Jafael started coming out in situations where he wasn't supposed to come out.
That's like Heath Ledger in the Joker type shit.
Absolutely. Like, no joke. If you don't do, I believe, if you don't do a good enough job of separating the two and you get too immersed in the character, it can fuck with your psyche. I was in line at like Walgreens or something, and some lady said something crazy to me and popped off, and Jafael came out and started hollering at her. Like, I'm not playing. It sounds crazy, but the accent came out and everything, and and I caught myself and was like, "Yo, shit, I'm in too deep right now. I gotta decompress because Jafael finna ride on this lady. Like, you can't be a pirate in the checkout.
Bitch, fuck you up."
Well, not even the R, because it historically the R
They wasn't R.
They wasn't R nobody.
Yeah.
But I might cut you up. And you know, I played the Gladiator. I forgot about that one. Pompeii. They did Pompeii. That was one of my favorite ones at the museum. Had the full gladiator outfit. Had a big ass spear, shield, and they like to be authentic. So I'm carrying
the real shit.
A real Mongolian bow from back in the day when I was the governor. And I was like, well, y'all just about to give me this? And you know, you have to check it out. There's procedures and everything, but you still get to experience that. That's just the museum part. I went off on a tangent, having memories, but
that shit's wild.
Also did theater. I worked at Curious Theater downtown. I worked in Miners Alley Playhouse up in Golden. Done countless commercials. Had national campaigns. Walmart, CarMax, stuff for lawyers. Independent film. I was in a movie called, that's on Amazon still, Stadium Anthems. That's available on Amazon now, still.
I'm gonna go watch that shit.
But no, I've been at it a while. Just putting in that work, done stuff for the military, suicide prevention campaign, stuff that doesn't come out to the public. So you get the private sector companies requesting things, then you get the TV. Had some stuff on during Super Bowls, and I don't remember what it was for. To be honest,
just been working, man. that's wild.
But
how much have you ever? What's the most you ever got paid? If you don't mind me asking.
For one?
Yeah, for one gig.
Well, I guess at one time it came out to probably seven.
That's good though.
Yeah.
Was it like a day of shooting though?
It was like 2 days.
Oh,
yeah. 2 days max.
Shit.
Oh no, commercial work can pay very well. It's quick, in and out. Theater, for anybody who is aspiring to get into acting, this is shit they won't tell you in class. They didn't tell me. Yeah. Theater, you love it. You wanna, you do want to do theater, makes you a better performer, makes you a better actor. Being in front of that crowd, having that adrenaline. If you fuck up, it's you and the other actors on stage that can bail you out. If they're not on stage, so if they're solo, it's all on you to dig yourself out of that hole. So it keeps you sharp. But you're not going to necessarily make the money unless you're hitting Broadway or you're at Denver Center consistently. You're going to find some financial struggle in there. You're gonna have to have some other means of income. Right. Because local theater, you love them, but they don't have the money. They don't have the financing, the funds. So to help supplement that is why I transitioned to, because I have an agent, shout out my agents, Radical Artist Talent, that help bring in auditions that I get. You can't get access to a certain level of auditions unless you have an agent. You're not gonna get them. And those are the ones that are gonna pay you more. That's how you're gonna get your SAG credits and your SAG card and all those things. You gotta have an agent at some point if you want to take it serious.
I was thinking about getting into voice acting.
Yeah, that's the way to, the experiment, just practice different voices, different characters, or take scripts from shows that already exist
and just read them.
And record it, just to get your voice down, hear it. Because voice acting is part of, I've done plenty of voiceover work over the years as well through them. I'd love to do some cartoon work. That shit looks so fun.
What is your process like when you get to the set, or you know what I'm saying, or you get your description or your script, or what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? What's your process to tap into that? Yeah. Because I did see you. I seen you in one commercial where I don't know what was going on, but you was a husband and it was a wife and it was a kid. I don't know if it was a not smoking commercial or something. I don't know
probably
what it
was the College Invest.
I think it was College Invest. Shout out like a blue shirt.
Yeah, with Mandy.
Yeah,
Mandy be out here killing. Mandy be out here.
Mandy
all
Groves,
kind of
right?
shit. Yeah.
Yep.
Shout out Mandy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mandy she be cleaning up out here.
Supposed to. Shit.
Yeah, Mandy be killing it.
What's your process though?
It depends on what it is. If it's commercial work, what they're asking for a lot of times is very simple. Yeah. So you have to nail it repeatedly, because there's the thing about on set, they might ask you to do that shit 20 times, and all you had to do was they're like, all right, do that again. Make sure you hold your hand right here. So sometimes if it's not a speaking role, that's pretty easy.
Yeah.
So you just make sure you think about consistency, like staying. Like I used to hurdle, so coming up, so you got to form. You want to keep it the same every time,
Right.
in terms of consistency. But you want to put in new effort and new life into every take to make sure you're getting that. So if it's a commercial like that, I keep it pretty simple. But if we're talking theater, character development, work, you're thinking about everything from childhood to an adult. You're thinking about how my character responds to being rejected. How is he with women? How can he talk to women, depending on what they're asking for? Is he timid? Did he have something when he was in middle school with a girl in front of him? He was crying like a little hoe, and it carried him with him the rest of his life. And he's mad about Patricia in 5th grade. And you think about all of those moments, the swing of the arm, until that person mixes with me and then takes a life of their own, because you always have to put a part of yourself in that character in order to give it wings. And then once that character is alive, in a sense, that's what I was talking about. The other character, each of those characters live somewhere in there. They just had to be stored away. Once you stop letting them access the part that comes out, they fade. But if you readdress that script or bring up the stuff, you can bring them back out. So characters never officially die. They're there somewhere. Yeah. But you gotta put them to bed.
They're like skeletons in the closet. You can pull one out.
Yeah.
That's dope. What are some of your goals with this acting?
I want to keep building. I have all my. I want to start getting more SAG work in terms of film. I put in all the time. I have the SAG eligible, everything. This is not really a SAG market, just in terms of they don't film a lot of SAG projects out here. They're starting to do more. Yeah. But that's why I had moved. One of the reasons I moved to Atlanta a few years back was just wanted to try to take things to the next level. It didn't work out. Right. It's just financially, it didn't work out. There ain't no reason to pretend it was something else. Shit. What it didn't work out. Yeah. Couldn't find enough regular work to pay the real bills, the regular bills, to pay more attention to the acting journey. I had my family down there, and had to come back. But you readjust, you regroup, and you keep going. And especially now, because you can audition for things wherever you're at, so you don't have to be.
You can like virtually audition now?
Oh yeah, the pandemic, they moved heavily to self-tape auditions. That doesn't mean that in-person auditions won't. They've been open. I've been on one in-person audition actually in the past 2 years, other than the jobs I've booked. Everything else has been virtual. And you just set up your camera, your tripod, film at home, do the script the best as possible, fake the reactions of the other person if you have to. Right. Or if you have somebody in the house that can read for you, great. But if not, it's all, memorized maybe. It's a whole process, but you just stay at it. But I want to get up there with what's his name that's killing everything now. I'd love to be able to get in the ring with Idris and Michael B. and all them. The guy that was in Lovecraft Country and the cowboy one that was on Netflix that recently came out. What is his name?
Oh, the dude from Atlanta.
No. Oh, he's good too. Keith is really good.
Yeah, he's dope.
Yeah. What is his name? He's the light-skinned dude. He's about to be in Creed 3. I don't know, but he's all over the place right now. But to get up there on that level, that is absolutely a goal. To be able to,
I see it, man,
hold my own with anybody. To be able to get in there with Denzel, if he's still around by the time I get there, in terms of still performing, and test my chops and prove what I can do. And of course, you'd love success, but to really be able to test my ability is what I would love to do.
Get in the ring and literally spar with them.
Yeah. All right, you're a legend. You might have something that, but I'm gonna see what I got.
So you're gonna have something that's gonna rub off on you too, though.
Yeah.
So if somebody wanted to book you for an acting project, how would they reach you?
If you're if depending on so it's two things. If you're looking to book a budgeted job, with a budget,
two different levels.
Officially, say you have commercial work or you need to promote your business. Officially, you have a camera crew. That will go through my agent, Radical Artist Agency. You can hit me up directly. I'm going to direct you to my agent depending on the scale of the job. Now, if we're talking a deal amongst ourselves, if you need help with a video or you need a cameo, that we can negotiate. We can talk and we can work that out. But if you are a company that has a real job that needs to be done and you have a camera crew, you have a director and all of those things, that will be through my agent because there's things that have to be negotiated.
Right.
The other reason you can miss out on money because you didn't go through your agent. So sometimes
that's what they for.
It's
to get
better.
You to
Just, even if you're going to work it out, they might tell you to do that on your own. Don't do that through us. You'll get paid more. Or they'll say, absolutely, you should have brought that to us. Because just like any other company, there's people trying to get a discount or get a cut.
All the time.
Don't undersell yourself. Don't undersell yourself.
All right. Phenomenal rapper.
Appreciate it.
Playing a crucial role in the hip hop community with your day job, which is literally going to turn into more success down the line. Dope ass actor. I'm about to ask you some random questions, bro.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna wrap this shit up. What's your favorite place to visit?
Ooh, I need to travel more. So probably somewhere I have not been. I ain't been on vacation in too damn long. I loved it in Atlanta though. So Atlanta was dope. Probably somewhere in nature, somewhere peaceful, somewhere I can vibe out. Either take my edibles, take my joint,
so down.
get my music, and somewhere peaceful. That's what I need.
All right, what's your favorite place to record music? Like place that just give you that undeniable vibe, that shit just flow every time.
Where I've been recording that lately, producer Ibaru. He recorded most of my album, mixed and mastered it. He has a very good environment. It's one of those relationships that develop. I've recorded a lot of places over the years, but we have pretty good rapport. I don't have to say too much in terms of what I want. And I'm direct when I record. I'm like, no, I don't like that.
Right.
Let me hear it. I don't like punching in. There's certain shit I just don't like to do. I'll make exceptions.
You make it easier on the engineer though.
But yeah, the more you communicate, don't go in there talking about all that shit. if you didn't practice your verse, then don't go to the studio.
don't come in this motherfucker trying to write something last minute. I got these last 4 bars.
You know, unless you can do that and you can adjust on the spot. But I'm trying to be nice, but I've seen some people do some wild shit in the studio. Pay for all this time, got girls in here talking, ain't even recorded. It's been 2 hours.
Homies in here smoking weed, y'all in here drunk.
Yeah.
Y'all recording line by line. Trust me, I know. Yeah. That's why I only fucking engineer for like 5 people.
Yeah, it's wild.
Sometimes they get on my nerves, but most of them.
Yeah, I mean,
most of them, they cool.
It's a process. So artists, develop your recording process. That's real.
Before you get to the lab, at least have something together.
Yeah,
that's all I be asking.
Yeah. Run your verse. It'll help you.
Practice in the car on the way here. Something.
Absolutely.
All right, smoke or drink?
Smoke. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
Even though I don't smoke or drink, but smoking seems more peaceful.
Yeah. I don't have a drink.
I hate drunk people. What a passion.
I don't like getting faded too much. The older you get, the less getting faded is enjoyable.
Right.
The recovery is real.
I've been through that, yeah. That's like one of the main reasons I don't like being inebriated at all. Gotta suffer later.
Yeah.
All right, so would you rather sit at the table with Jay-Z or Oprah?
Both would be beneficial to me because of what I do. So I couldn't go wrong with either one. Ooh. I think Jay-Z because of the elements of hip hop and our culture that I can connect with more with him. And Oprah is as much of an OG as she is. My personality, the things that I do and how I do them align more with Jay-Z. I'm not as safe. Not that I'm out there saying crazy shit, but I got some political songs and things that align with taking chances more with Jay-Z.
Yeah, you ain't about to watch your mouth. You know what I'm saying? For Oprah, I see.
And Oprah's more, don't fuck up my money.
Right.
Which is, Oprah is phenomenal, but I think because of those aspects of me, and my name is Rebel Minority. Not that I don't think I could do great things with both, if given that opportunity, but yeah.
All right, shit. Seafood or chicken?
Shit, I'm allergic to fucking shellfish, but I love tuna. Fucking ahi tuna, that's my shit. So chicken, unless it's ahi tuna seared.
Yeah, I'm a chicken guy. I don't like shellfish at all.
No, I'll die.
All right. Damn.
Yeah, I'll die.
Do not get this nigga no crab legs.
It's over. Can't breathe. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. EpiPen. I'm gonna have to go to the hospital. All that shit.
Oh shit. What's the first thing you do when you wake up? Like the very first thing.
Look at the time. Like, how much time I got?
Am I supposed to be up right now?
People like, can I chill for a second? Oh, I better move. Yeah, look at the time, and then evaluate what's next.
All right. Top 3 albums all time, any genre.
Ooh.
Cue the Jeopardy music.
That first Black Star album, I think for me is an all-time album. Just in terms of history, what it meant to me, what it represented in terms of my development as an artist and just in life. I'll take that album. Jill Scott, I gotta have. Which one do I want? Is it Words and Sounds Volume 1? The 2007 album. I can't remember if it's that one or if it's the later one. I gotta have that one. I know it's the 2007 joint, but I want, man, that last slot of just the one album. I'm thinking to listen to these on repeat if that's all I had.
And never get tired of them.
Which one? Damn, that's a tough spot. Cause there's some Roots albums I really like. I was like, no, cause that's a Nipsey album. That Victory Lap's fucking good, but
Forever though.
Forever, right? Damn.
I put Nip in mine, definitely.
I mean,
but it wouldn't be Victory Lap. It'd be Mailbox Money for me.
Okay.
But
yeah, that's a tough one. Cause what happens if I go back to? Cause I got a lot of R&B and shit in there. Sade, couldn't go wrong with that.
Look, we gonna leave this alone. He's undecided.
I don't fucking know. Yeah, I can't. The third one, I can't. I'm like, oh no, I need some variety. So,
shit.
Yeah.
All right, look. Quentin Tarantino or Spike Lee? Yeah, boy.
I think
they might see this shit too.
I think Spike, for cultural significance, you can't rule out Spike. He's made some classic projects that for Black culture that are
timeless.
Cult following, timeless things that are essential to Black upbringing. I think in terms of that, Quentin Tarantino, he made some good movies, for sure. But I'm gonna give it to Spike.
Bad.
For the culture.
I'll give it to Spike too.
Yeah.
Tarantino's dope. But I feel like if it didn't have all the blood and guts, it wouldn't be.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be dope.
Well, there's just certain stories and elements you can't touch just because that's not nothing against him. That's not his culture. So
Did he do Django though?
he did do Django. Django was really good.
Django was good as fuck.
Yeah.
But if it didn't have the violence in there, would we watch it?
I mean, that definitely helped. It didn't hurt.
I'm like,
because when Jamie Foxx started writing
people up.
Yeah, when he started writing on the slave owners, and she was like, "Hell yeah, let's go,
I'm into this.
let's go." Even when he got rid of Samuel's ass, the house nigga in that
nigga
one.
on that name.
And I love Samuel Jackson, but I hated that character, which speaks to how good a job he did, because that character was despicable.
He took Uncle Ruckus.
Yeah. Oh, he was nasty.
Just amplified him by 1,000.
Absolutely. He was like, shoot,
how could you?
And then they killed him slow too. You're like, fuck it, this guy.
Go on.
Get him out of here.
Go on and die, Samuel.
Yeah.
Shit.
And then he shot the wife too. I remember that part being pretty satisfying when he finally killed you. I ain't gonna lie, I was like, well, that bitch gotta go too.
Like, thank God.
Get them all.
She
participated. Shit.
She definitely did.
Yeah.
All right, complete the sentence. If I didn't have music, I would
probably fight and get in trouble. Straight up, probably fight and you'll just be mad. Like, man, these motherfuckers. You know, when you don't have no outlet and you got to deal with the life is already stressful. There's a lot of bullshit that happens in life. So you don't have whatever your outlet is. But if I didn't have music, I would have excuse me, definitely gotten to more shit. I think because I wouldn't have had along with my art in general, something to focus on other than that. Because there's a lot, especially growing up in Park Hill in the 90s, there's a lot of other shit you can get into. Easily. Or they want you to get into. And this all comes down to the choices you make. That's what we was talking about earlier a little bit with everybody's a gangbanger right now on track.
Right.
But which is cool.
Everybody's in the house on the internet.
Yeah.
Just kill the gangbanging shit and just be on the internet. Make some good art.
Because that's at the end of the day, that affects your money and how much money you can make.
Literally puts you in the box.
Yes. Doesn't mean you can't incorporate that into your story, but you're affecting your own bread. Because who's going to pay you and approach you one day? People who are scared of you? No. They're going to be like, oh, we got you pegged. And they're going to try to take advantage of you in some way because they think you're stupid or whatever it is. I can say that from my experience working here. I'm not going to say the names of these artists, these big fucking artists, way bigger than me. But in terms of business, there were some artists that they were approached with that they had to turn the other cheek because of the way they move in the streets and their reputation, and that affects deals and business. There's always somebody who's going to take advantage of you, but when it comes to expanding your brand, 100% that can affect you. Take money off the table.
Look, he just gave y'all some game.
Yeah.
All right, look, we got 1 minute until we reach a whole hour of this interview. This is our longest interview so far.
Oh, damn.
So this is where I open the floor and just tell you, talk your shit. You got a minute.
Shit. Just dropped a new project, Rebel Minority. I'm putting it in the air, manifesting album of the year conversation in terms of lyrics, beats, production, full overall project. Rebel Minority is a name that is going to be heard and circulating around a lot more. And it's still love to everybody because I think there's a lot of talent out here. But my name is not one to be forgotten, and I'm coming. Rebel.
Hey, my name is Vic Carter. This is Rebel Minority. In the acting world, this is Isaiah Kelly.
That's right.
It's another episode of What's Good.
What's good?
Hey.